Hello, everyone. Welcome to Easy English in 10 Minutes. I am with you, Nikchan. Stay with us and improve your speaking skills. Today, we're going to talk about a very common problem many of us face when speaking English: forgetting words. I also forgot when I learned English. Don't worry, here I have come up with some ideas. How do you remember the words? Please watch the full video, then let me know how you do in the next video. Let's go to the point. Do you ever find yourself in a conversation trying to speak English, but suddenly your mind goes blank and you forget the words you want to say? You're not alone. A lot of learners feel the same way. But don't worry, in this video, we'll discuss why we forget words and, more importantly, what we can do to remember them. The most important question: why do we forget the words? So why do we forget words when we want to speak English? Please try to listen carefully. After that, stop the video and try to say like mine. It will be more effective for your English learning. Now we will know the 10 reasons. Why do we forget words when we want to speak English? Number 1. Nervousness. One of the biggest reasons is feeling nervous. When we're speaking in a new language, it's normal to feel a little scared or worried. This can make it harder to remember words. Your brain is focused on trying to say the right thing, and that can make it forget things. Number 2. Lack of practice. Another reason is not practicing enough. Learning a language takes time and practice. If we don't use the words we've learned regularly, they can slip out of our memory. Number 3. Lack of confidence. Sometimes we forget words because we're afraid of making mistakes. If we're not confident in our English skills, we may feel stuck and unable to find the right words. Number 4. Too much focus on grammar. If we're always focused on grammar and perfect sentences, we might forget simple words we know. It's important to focus on communicating, not just being perfect. Number 5. Stress. Stress can also make it harder to remember words. When we're under pressure, our brain has trouble recalling information. If we're stressed about getting the right word or saying it correctly, our brain freezes. Number 6. Overthinking. Sometimes when we focus too much on finding the perfect word, we overthink everything. This pressure can block the flow of our thoughts and make it harder to remember the words we already know. The more we try to think about the word, the further it feels from our memory. Number 7. Not using words. In context, when we learn new vocabulary, it's easy to remember the word itself. But if we don't use it in context or in real-life situations, it's harder to recall it. Words we use frequently or in a specific context stick better in our minds, while those we only learn from a list fade away. Number 8. Short-term memory. If we haven't properly committed the words to long-term memory, they remain in short-term memory. This means that the word might stay in our mind for a short period, but can easily be forgotten once we don't use it for some time. Number 9. Lack of emotional connection. When we don't have an emotional connection to a word or its meaning, we may forget it more easily. Words that have a personal meaning or are tied to emotions, like memories or experiences, are easier to remember because they hold more significance in our mind. Number 10. Language interference. When we are learning multiple languages, sometimes our brain mixes up words from different languages. This is called language interference. For example, when speaking English, we might accidentally use words from our first language because both languages are stored in the same part of the brain. This can cause confusion and forgetfulness. Now we understand what we have wrong with, so we won't do it when we speak in English. Now we will try to know how to overcome this problem. What should we do to remember the words? Now that we know why we forget words, let's talk about what we can do to remember them and improve our speaking skills. Number 1. Practice regularly. One of the best ways to remember words is by practicing them regularly. Practice speaking English every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. The more you practice, the easier it will become to remember the words you want to say. Number 2. Use new words in sentences. When you learn a new word, try using it in a sentence. Don't just memorize the word, use it in a real situation. For example, if you learn the word apple, say something like, I like to eat an apple in the morning. This will help your brain remember the word better. Number 3, don't worry about mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes when you speak English. Don't let fear of mistakes stop you from speaking. The more you practice, the more confident you will become. Mistakes are part of the learning process, and they help you grow. Number 4, use flashcards. Flashcards are a great tool to help you remember words. Write the word on one side and the meaning, or a picture on the other side. You can review these cards every day. This method helps your brain connect the word with its meaning, making it easier to remember. Number 5, listen and repeat. Another way to improve your memory is by listening to English every day. You can watch movies, listen to podcasts, or even songs in English. Try to repeat the words or sentences you hear. This will help you remember the words and improve your pronunciation at the same time. Number 6, think in English. Start thinking in English instead of translating from your native language. When you think in English, it becomes easier to find the right words when speaking. It also helps you remember the words because you are using them in your daily thoughts. Number 7 dash. Use technology. There are many apps that can help you remember words and practice speaking English. Apps like Duolingo, Babbel, or HelloTalk can help you learn new words and use them in conversations. These apps also let you practice speaking with others, which is great for improving your memory. Number 8 dash. Slow down and relax. When you're speaking English, try not to rush. Take your time and relax. If you slow down, you'll have more time to think of the right word. Relaxing your mind can help you remember the words you need. Number 9 dash. Create word associations. A fun and helpful trick is to associate words with things you already know. For example, if you're learning the word car, you can imagine a red car or think about a car that you've driven. Associating words with images or experiences helps your brain remember them more easily. Number 10 dash. Review regularly. Just like practicing, reviewing the words you've learned is important. Take a few minutes every week to go over the words you've learned. This will help keep them fresh in your memory. Number 11 dash. Overthinking. Sometimes when we focus too much on finding the perfect word, we overthink everything. This pressure can block the flow of our thoughts and make it harder to remember the words we already know. The more we try to think about the word, the further it feels from our memory. Number 12 dash. Not using words. In context, when we learn new vocabulary, it's easy to remember the word itself. But if we don't use it in context or in real-life situations, it's harder to recall it. Words we use frequently or in a specific context stick better in our minds, while those we only learn from a list fade away. Number 13 dash. Short-term memory. If we haven't properly committed the words to long-term memory, they remain in short-term memory. This means that the word might stay in our mind for a short period, but can easily be forgotten once we don't use it for some time. Number 14-L, lack of emotional connection. When we don't have an emotional connection to a word or its meaning, we may forget it more easily. Words that have a personal meaning or are tied to emotions, like memories or experiences, are easier to remember because they hold more significance in our mind. Number 15-, language interference. When we are learning multiple languages, sometimes our brain mixes up words from different languages. This is called language interference. For example, when speaking English, we might accidentally use words from our first language because both languages are stored in the same part of the brain. This can cause confusion and forgetfulness. Number 16-, use the words in daily conversations. The best way to remember words is by using them in everyday conversations. Try speaking with friends, family, or even practicing in front of a mirror. The more you use new words, the easier it will be to recall them when needed. Number 17-, create a vocabulary notebook. Keep a small notebook or digital file where you write down new words you learn each day. Along with the word, write its meaning, a sentence, and a few synonyms. Reviewing this notebook regularly will help reinforce the words in your memory. Number 18, group words by themes. It's easier to remember words when they are grouped into themes, such as food, travel, emotions, or work-related terms. Creating word groups helps your brain associate related words, making them easier to remember together. Number 19-, watch English movies or TV shows. Watching movies or TV shows in English is a fun and engaging way to hear how native speakers use words in context. Try to watch with subtitles and pay attention to words you don't understand. Rewind and repeat those words to get better at remembering them. Number 20, use the word in different tenses. Learning how to use a word in different tenses, past, present, future, helps you remember it in multiple contexts. For example, if you learn the word run, practice saying, I run, I ran, and I will run. This helps solidify the word in your memory. Number 21-, teach someone else. When you teach someone else what you've learned, you reinforce the information in your own mind. Share new words with a friend or family member, or even explain them to yourself out loud. Teaching is a powerful method of learning and remembering. Number 22-, create a story with the words. Use new words to create a story. The more imaginative and creative the story, the easier it will be to remember. By tying words into a story, you give them meaning and make them more memorable in your mind. Number 23, use mnemonics and memory aids. Create a mnemonic or memory trick for difficult words. For example, if you're learning the word cautious, you might think of the phrase, caution, be careful. These tricks help your brain make connections, which makes recalling the word easier. Number 24-, practice with flashcard apps. Apps like Anki, Quizlet, or Memrise can be really helpful for practicing and reviewing vocabulary. These apps use spaced repetition, meaning they'll quiz you on the words at increasing intervals, which helps reinforce them in your long-term memory. Number 25-, read aloud. Reading English texts aloud helps you practice pronunciation and reinforces your memory. It also helps you hear the words and internalize them. Try reading books, articles, or even social media posts allowed to improve both your vocabulary and speaking skills. So don't worry if you forget a word while speaking English. It happens to everyone. The key is to keep practicing, relax, and use the tips I've shared today. With time and effort, you'll remember more words and become more confident in your speaking skills. Remember, learning English is a journey, and every mistake is an opportunity to improve. Keep going, and you will get better every day. Thanks for watching this video. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Let me know what topic you want to learn about next. See you in the next video. Thank you so much.